Welcome back to the Foundation. This is Swaytoven, and this video is for all ages, to be honest, because the main focus is understanding time and maybe what you should start working on if when you start to understand more your strengths. But if you're a younger producer, one thing that I wish I actually got into music would if I was more younger, to be honest. Like, I've always been into music. Because I remember when I was younger, I always wanted to play the violin. And my grandmother, she made me play the piano first. She was paying for the lessons. What was I going to say? But it's just like, I realized that I played the piano and started playing the violin like maybe like a year or two after. The violin was easier to pick up because I learned so much fundamental and theory with the piano. It's just like, I had the time to do it, this, that, and the third. I realized that I just learned differently. Okay, that's very important when it comes to music. Even though some people, even though in my opinion that music doesn't have a learning curve, you could stumble upon something, right? You don't have to learn anything to make music. Music, it doesn't require intelligence, right? I think in a way, maybe to make music to communicate with one another, maybe, but it's just like what if I was younger, like it's just like I wish I would learn everything, right? The thing is that you might want to get into just producing beats, okay, but I would suggest that you get into mixing, right, mastering, sound design, and everything else that comes with music, right? Even though it might seem like boring or something like that to some people, but it's just like the fact that you have time right now, it's just like later on, it's just you'll know. That's all it is you'll know. You'll have the information. You'll have the knowledge. Now, you might be battling against AI and stuff like that, but in the setting where people are coming together, you might be in a studio, blah, blah, blah. You might have a curve or like just above them. I just know something that they don't because you put in the time to understand something that is almost just nitpicky, but it like, just trust me, it'll pay off in the end because you have the time now to do it. You feel me? Opposed to like someone that's older, so like the people that are older, it's just like, well, what have you been spending your time on, and what are you good at, and what do you think you're best at? You feel me? I like making melodies. I spent a lot of time, so when I first started making music in 2022, I took a break in 2023. So it's just like I really was only making music for like 2 years. This is going on like the middle of the second year, some shit like that. It's just like I spent a lot of time on making melodies, right? Musical stuff, this, that, and third, because I play piano and violin. So like I was never in like the band or something when I was younger, and that's an important element because like kids that are in the band might be amazing at doing drums if they ever started making beats. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I said this isn't a learning curve about this stuff is because there's this one kid on my YouTube shorts that keeps popping up. He's autistic in a way, or he's just mentally challenged. But like, he makes the craziest loops. It's just too good. You know what I mean? So it's just like, there's no learning curve to music. I'm not saying the kid didn't learn how to do anything because we don't know his personal life, but like music is like just like literally fundamentally within us all. So it's just like, that's why I'm saying probably pick something that you're good at when it comes to an aspect of music, is because there's like, if you're interested in it, then there must be something inside of you that like just really gets you to it. You know what I'm saying? You can't let go with that, in my opinion. But yeah, no. So kind of lost my train of thought because I had to go back to the kid who clearly probably doesn't go to music class. That's not the way to put that at all. But I don't think he's probably taking lessons. He's literally just tapping buttons on a machine. He feels it. So it's just like his rhythm. Like, let me not get spiritual and talk about the principle of rhythm. Let me not talk about the hermetic principles. You know what I'm saying? I'll start sounding like a lunatic. But like, there's just something about it. But yeah, if you spent your time on making, like, if you spent a lot of time on drum machines, you might be just really good at drums. You know what I'm saying? And maybe try to just master that. Because I just feel like every time I go on drums, I just wish that I knew someone who was good at drums, so I don't gotta think about it. Right? Two minds combining together, by the way, so if you're younger, collaborate. Not, you know what I'm saying, get your friends interested in music or something like that. Because collaboration over the internet is impossible. You know what I'm saying? But two minds collaborating together can evolve the whole project as a whole. Because it's just like if I keep making drums on my beats, they're just gonna sound the same in a way. And yes, over time, I could just use different drum loops. But that idea alone almost is a further testament that if I use drum loops created by somebody else, I could have just been working with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a whole different idea that's been incorporated in this beat. It probably gives new ideas to the beat and stuff like that. So it's just like, it's just, I feel like it's almost a frustrating thing to like get new ideas that you can almost hear, but you can't fully incorporate because you don't know. I got a cough. You hear how empty it sounds in here? You hear it? Hello. I got nothing in here. It's empty house. But yeah. So, if you're younger, get into everything. I remember when I first started making music, my whole thing was like I wanted to make beats because I didn't want to pay for people's beats because I actually like to do the songs. I think that I have like a good type of thing for just like certain type of songs or whatever, blah blah blah, especially if I can like focus on it. But then I started focusing on beats. I went down a rabbit hole, and then I realized that kind of I kind of lost the whole idea for the songs, creativity, the ambition for it, blah blah blah, but not really. Okay, because if I'm really if what I make is really actually nice, then I'll actually want to make something over it, right? But other than that, it's just like that. What I meant about time, like what do you spend your time on, right? What do you spend your energy on, your brain power? If I spend all my brain power on making the beat, I'm not gonna have any brain power for the song. Even if I wake up the next day, I'll look at the beat critically. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to look critically at the beat. I want to listen to the beat critically. I want to just be able to like just let the ideas flow. And the thing about it is that songs, it's just another melody that you laid over the beat. It's just another counter melody, with words coming out of your mouth. It's not words coming from the violin or the piano. It's words coming out of your mouth. So it's just like, that's the way I think about it. I don't really think it's difficult to make a song. And maybe it might be, but like when it's like sometimes I've just heard type of instrumentals and I've just said songs. I'm like, man, this could be a hit if I was that person. You know what I'm saying? And I swear I've heard that. I've said that. A lot of people think, ooh, this song that I made is a hit. But I'm thinking, no. If someone else said this, is because you gotta let ego aside. Because like I said, if I was supposed to be lit, I would already be lit. If someone else said this, it'd just be another song that might be like a banger. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, that just might be me being confident within myself. But there's almost like a science to it. I don't know, but overthinking it does not work. That's why I feel like I could never be lit, popular, and all that shit. Because I overthink it. You feel me? Only because I went down the rabbit hole of trying to make the music. And I just want, it's just kind of silly, right? And the reason why I keep doing it is because it doesn't seem difficult, right? I just try to perfect the sound. Like I wanted to get into the mixing aspect of it because I wanted the sounds to sound good. That's what I liked about it. So I said, ooh, I want to make beats, but then I realized I want the sounds to sound good together, That's why I lost the creativity for, like, the songs. But it's just, like, at the end of the day, if you have the time, you can focus on just so much fundamental shit that later on, it's just, you can then decide what you want to do. You know what I mean? If you're, like, fucking 40, and you want to get into music, do it. It's because it's an escape. But at the end of the day, it's just you have to understand like why you're doing it. What's your goal? And if it's to escape, then do it. I'm 27. I have to kind of decide because we live in a world that revolves around money and all that stuff is like, what do I want to do to try to like do something that feels like it's fulfilling and also something I can enjoy, blah, blah, blah. The whole spiel, but honestly, if we can just figure out this one important question at the end of the day as to where the white women at, then I just feel like all the problems would be solved. and you wouldn't have to worry about music.